Hello, hello, hello. If any of you rejoin, I don't know if I'm even making noise. I don't know if I'm even. I'm making noise. So, hi, we are here for the Libra Full Moon that evidently did not want anybody to speak about it. And I will just share this out to the people that were. Yay! So hopefully everybody else will jump across. I don't know why that didn't work. I'm going with the full moon didn't want me to talk about it. I'm just plonking. I don't know. I have just put this new thingy in your community chat. Because I don't know who's in the room, but hopefully everybody will manage to come across. Who knows? That was chaotic. Literally 2 fully charged mics, and they were working earlier, so no idea. But hello everybody. Thank you for patience with tech issues. There is literally no planets retrograde at the moment, so can't even blame planet. Just don't like tech. So hopefully everybody will manage to make it across, because I don't really know where else to put that link. Hi. First full moon of the astrological year, so this one is a lot of energy. It's really built. It's really tense. It is April Fools, isn't it? I fucking hate April Fools. I do not enjoy practical jokes, so not impressed. Hi from India. Yeah, this is our first full moon of the year, so it's like a big turning point, like it's like that big boom release to like really kick off the year. And it is in Libra, which is the air sign, and it is the scales. So that whole like scales balance is a massive like theme here. Whatever's being illuminated into your life personally or dependent on your chart is very much saying like looking at those scales and being like, where is it like this? And how do we make it like this? But it is Libra, so it is ruled by Venus, the planet of love. So relationships are a massive theme here, but that doesn't just have to be love relationships. That's any relationships. That can be work, friends, anything like that. Like it's just how you relate to the relationships you have with others and the people around you. So everything's very much coming to the forefront in that regard and pointing out imbalance and where there is lack of harmony. So we're really wanting to delve into that aspect of what is not harmonious right now. Like, where has the tension been building for you for like literally since the new moon? So the full moon starts to build from the new moon. So it will have been building and it peaks at 3 a.m. this morning, like in the morning. So it's going to be really obvious by now. And if you've got no like major tension points or nothing that obvious, you're either like very head in the sand, one extreme, or you just may not have major tension points that need a huge release. So it depends on you. I really hope that it's that you don't have huge tension points that need release, but wherever tension is rising, that is the thing that's asking for either a closure, like complete closure, you know, like full moons, close it, cut it off, like get it gone, or it's just a shift in dynamic. So if we just go with relationships as like the obvious where it's Libra as such, if you've got a relationship that isn't working, then essentially like, can you make it work, or does it need to be dead and gone now? Like, is there even a chance for that equilibrium to come into play? And that's where you have to have like such discernment and such honesty with self. Like Libra wants honesty. It's that like Libra's all about justice and fairness. That's why in tarot the justice card has like the scales in it. It's Libra ruled. So it's that element here of like wanting justice. And we have to be honest with ourselves where that balance isn't in play, and also where we allow that lack of balance as well. So it's not just about pointing fingers at other people and saying like what you're doing isn't fair. It's also like seeing self and being like, where are you like people pleasing or not saying your truth for sake of harmony, but that's not actually harmonious. So it's having to look at self and then also look at others. And then there's also like that flip side of things where it could be that you're the one that knows that you are causing more of the imbalance. So you have to have that honesty with yourself where you're doing it as well. It's not just people coming in and doing it to you. So yeah, who are you in relationship to others, and how can this be as equal and fair and harmonious as possible? Because that's what Libra wants. It wants that balance in relationship. We have the moon in Libra. So that illuminated full moon, that beautiful sparkling thing in the sky, is illuminated because of the sun. The sun is in Aries, and Aries, that first sign of the zodiac, is very much like a me sign in that regard. It's art, so it's got this like we with the Libra relationship, and then the me Aries, and it's like an axis. So it's kind of asking you to address both. So you're serving self, but serving self for sake of serving relationship. But where do we need to make sure this light is balanced? So where it has to be equal in relationship, but it means you sometimes need to bring some more of it onto yourself. If you are over giving your light to other people, or someone's like coming in and snatching it and grabbing it from you, depending on your situations. So it's just wanting that, yeah, equilibrium, and asking you to not people please. Don't over compromise yourself. Like, do not be quiet for peace sake if like you're abandoning your truth. It's asking you to really like look at everything and see what is sustainable, like moving forwards. And it's that type of thing, like it's being highlighted for a reason. Of course you can ignore it, like you're a human being, you do have free will, but it will get like, it won't, for one, it won't work. It will just get louder and louder because it's reaching this peak, and things like then can't continue as they are. So it's almost like if it's been illuminated and something's been shown to you and you're like, no, I'm not doing that, I'm not going to listen, like I don't want to do that, I'll just keep going as things are, like you, that truth that's already been illuminated to you, you won't be able to ignore moving forwards. It will just get louder and louder and like eat away at you in however it does for you as a person. This ties back to a Libra new moon that we had in October. So if you know what you were doing around that new moon, if you know what you're doing in October, like it's just, it doesn't necessarily mean like you have to look back at what intentions you set. You can do if you have a journal and that's easy for you, but it's that part of like just seeing what themes may have been going on in your life around then, because it's, those themes have been building in your reality for the last 6 months until this point. So they've been building and building, and now they are peaking. This full moon is going to affect all of the cardinal signs the most. So that's obviously Libra and Aries with that axis, but it's also Capricorn and Cancer. Yay me. And I would definitely say like I'm feeling it. Like it feels very, very, very tense in my body. It's affecting, so for Cancers, if any of you are Cancer risings, it's your 4th house. That is your house of like your roots. It's the mother. So for people that know me will understand why that's like a bigger thing. And it's this like that rootage and security that comes in what's supposed to be like a relatively nurturing house. And I'm feeling tense in my body because I essentially didn't like have that nurturing, didn't have the safety that I needed. And it felt like for me, it's coming very bodily up because it's like, it's craving that, and it's wanting that release of old ways of being, that lack of security. And it's really peaking for me my emotional levels, which are making me highly uncomfortable. So yeah, I am very much, once this is all done, I'm getting under my blanket and I'm going to like, you know, hide, cry maybe, like, you know, whatever comes forward, and just kind of going to ride it out a little bit. We've also got Jupiter, so that's squaring, so that is magnifying. Jupiter is essentially a magnifying glass, and that can be wonderful. It can magnify good, it can magnify bad, but it just essentially in this case means all the loud is all the louder. So it's gonna like bring great clarity, because as you do see so clearly with a magnifying glass on something, but yeah, it just means that intensity and that push for honesty and growth is like really, really strong. What else we have? So Libra rules Venus, and Venus is currently in Taurus. It's also very comfortable in Taurus, so like that's all fine. But Taurus is in a square to Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth. So we've got this like desire for stability that Taurus has in Venus, like it wants that stability in love, in relationships, just like in that way, versus Scorpio's death, rebirth, deep transformation. So it's just like another magnifying glass on everything that's being ramped up. Pluto being that death, rebirth, and like, you know, the underworld. So hidden dynamics are really coming to the forefront. So it could be that you're really just truly seeing something that you didn't see before. If games are being played, if power patterns and structures that will either have been getting louder, or maybe like something has just landed of late where you're like, shit, I did not see that before. Things are starting to surface. Scorpio digs things up from the depths and is like, there you go. Have your plate full of like unhealthy and toxic patterns and like dynamics. Here you go. You can't deny it any longer. So yeah, a lot of we can't continue with this sort of energy. Especially, like I said, relationship points. There's a trine to the south node, which is another south node is that karmic like bucket of shit that we need to release. So another ending release point coming in to everything, where it's like anything outdated has to go. So really utilize this release point of this full moon of like what doesn't serve you. And especially saying that because when this full moon goes, we then start building up to the new moon. The new moon will be in Aries. So that new moon will be like a very much that, you know, planting seeds, kick starting, like in a sense, like the astrological year. It's the new moon in Aries, Aries being the first sign of the zodiac. So clear out so that you've got like ample room essentially like to plant and to really serve yourself, your path, and in how you like need to move forwards in regards to like your soul, your soul's growth. So that's the bit that like really serves you. We want to like rewrite what safety means to ourselves under this. So that is safe to be like in relationships, safe to be ourselves, safe to speak our truth. Everything that means that there would be, you know, balance. And it's not to say scales are always balanced in relationships or like in life. They obviously do move, but this is highlighting where there is a like power dynamics and stuff, that there are those shifts where things are like undeniably out of whack and like not aligned in that way. I think that may be it on the moon's energies. How is it all feeling for everybody? Before we move on to the cards. But yeah, this is all about that like truth. It's this culmination point where this clarity's come in. We want to release, close out the old cycles, restore the balance through honesty in our lives, and then be able to move forwards. And whether that's a full-on cutting off release, you know, like get gone, or just a honest conversation with somebody where you actually bring your truth to the table or call somebody out on their bullshit in a nice, kind way, so that you can actually grow moving forwards. Like I said, relationships of all regards in this case doesn't just have to be romantic. It can be whatever is coming forwards for you, or the ones that are just most prevalent in your realities. And it can also be relationship to self, because like that's Libra, love, self-love. So some of this may just, you may be like, there's no one. And then that might be a case of like literally looking in the mirror, because the relationship is how you're relating to yourself. However, flawed and insert swear words. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I'm feeling that. I'm exhausted today. Yeah, that too. It's like a really weird. So I'm usually very, very buzzy towards full moons. And my anxiety levels have been super high. So it's not that like buzzy, I can do, let's go, like action packed. It's like I'm knackered and just feel really wired and jittery. So it's definitely packing a punch, packing some energies. It's actually nice to know that it's not just me. Because sometimes it is just me and my reality. Um, although also rubbish that like you're feeling like that. I would rather you guys, it'd be easier for you. Just got my period, very important. Big release, big release. Utilize it. This is alcohol-free beer, by the way, but it has magnesium in, and I was like, that might chill me. Right, the tarot cards. I feel like I've been hit by a bus. So lots of lovely energy in the chat. It's peaking at 3 a.m. in the morning, guys, and then we can have the full moon hangover. That's what I'm actually kind of like, woo, yay, let's have the hangover part. Like, let's let this bit be done. Will be really nice. We have 2 cards because it's full moon. So 3 of Swords. So if you saw my stories on Instagram earlier, this was all okay, it's a bit pokey. So this is the air, this is the Libra part. This is where the moon is. This is what the sun is illuminating, and we have the 3 of Wands for the part of the sky that is the sun. So that's the Aries part. So the 3 of Swords, a card about heartache, pain, suffering, misery. You know, it's a heart stabbed with 3 swords. There's rain clouds, it's raining, there's a dark, miserable sky. Happy, happy card. Obviously bringing in relationship themes here, because it's the Libra aspect and the heartbreak. But this is anything that essentially just cuts really deep. It's also swords, so it's air, so that's everything then of the mind. So it's everything being illuminated and very much coming forwards in our minds, in our mind space to us, like really realizing those points of truth coming into our minds and it being like unavoidable. And then it goes back into everything that I was saying about where you may have been over compromising, like people pleasing, staying quiet to keep the peace, anything like this. But it's whatever these deep cuts are that can no longer be ignored. The like imbalance is being exposed, and so like any of those hidden dynamics, those power struggles, anything like that, is like come to light. Honesty is required because we need this emotional release, and part of the emotional release here is about like feeling it and not suppressing it, so like the swords can come out so that we can be free of it, so we can go back into a level of equilibrium and balance, which is what we want. So yeah, like I said, this card always packing a punch, so very much makes sense of this like intense energy coming through. And then we have, on that flip side, where the sun is, in Aries, the 3 of Wands. And this is a card that is all about expansion. It's someone stood on the shoreline. They are waiting. It's yellow, but it's actually the sea. They're waiting for the ships to come in and they're going to tell them where to go. So they've made it outside of the castle walls and they want to go off. And this is like the we. And this is like the we that is not working any longer in our realities. And this is the me, where we need to pour a bit of the focus back onto self so that we can like just be true to ourselves, be true to our identity, so that like as we expand and move forwards, it's with that honesty and truth, and then we will move forwards in a more balanced way. We're moving beyond old relationship patterns, dynamics, anything that all the stuff that's coming up that needs to be released or shifted, bringing that focus back in, like reigniting that like fire within to have that momentum building to push us forwards in a way that is very, very aligned and expansive. Like I said, they're waiting for ships to come in so they can like go out and explore the world. But there's this part that's the focus of like what needs that readjustment, what needs that movement so that you actually can do this, so you can act and move from alignment. And then with like it being that fire and that Aries new moon coming in, it's kind of like that guiding path to get you to where you want to be. So really, really like utilizing this release point for all of us. And the 3s in tarot are all about connection and coming together and growth. So with that, there's a level of like this growth through the discomfort, the growth through the truth that is coming in, and integrating like yourself with how you then are with others. So like I said, some of this may just be like truth and honesty, very inwards, like with self, like with how you actually are with other people, so that like you actually like speak your truth. And that doesn't have to be like harsh or mean or anything like that. It's just like speaking your actual truth, so you're not blocking it down, causing energetic blocks, and like just not serving yourself. Because if you're not being honest, like in your discourse with people, then it's never going to be balanced and fair because it's not honest. And that like it will never serve you. The lie will become like too big a burden, and if someone's doing that to you and they're not being honest to you, you can also then like cut those cords so that someone is actually like bringing truth to you. Like I said, that threes are about like that there's a collaboration and a growth, but it's that together and how we can actually move forwards together. So we are seeing like a lot of this on the world stage at the moment, more in that like negative way of like how we've got such people on their stages ruling the world that are so self-serving. They only think about themselves. They like give zero fucks, and like that is a level of they need to shift it the other way. Like they really need to start thinking more of the we and not just of the me. But I would imagine for a lot of you in this room, it's going to be the other way around. So yeah, those core messages there is like what's breaking through into like in clarity for you, in regards to your relationships, how you relate, and what's not in balance, what's not fair. Remember that justice fairness part of Libra. This is that culmination point. Whatever is coming in, feel it. Like feel it, let it be with you. Like don't avoid it. There's me saying that I'm just gonna go hide under the blanket afterwards, but like don't avoid it. Like let that truth come in and land for you of whatever the discomfort is, and make that choice to move forward differently so that you can actually reclaim and expand in a way that is like beneficial for you. And if it's beneficial for you, it's always going to be beneficial for the people around you, or at least beneficial for the people around you that truly care. If someone has their own agenda as their point of priority, it may not, like they may not like it, but that in and of itself is a sign. So yeah, lots of intense energy with this one. Like I said, cardinal signs hitting the most, and obviously Libra is going to hit, Libra risings, it will hit the most because it's your first house. So that's the bit that is really going to like dig deeper as such. But yeah, that's all the moon energy. I'm even looking outside, like, because it's lighter now, isn't it? So I'm like, in my head, because it's not a dark sky right now, the moon's not even up. And so I'm like, oh my God, it's like, it's not even in the sky yet. But of course it's in the sky. Anyway, like I said, bit jittery today, not gonna lie. Let's pull some cards. So let me know you're still here in regards to chucking. I probably know half of your rising signs by now, but if you put your rising sign in the chat, then I can also tell you which house it is for you if you don't already know, and we will pull some cards. We will use some tarot. Sorry. Virgo rising, but you're a Virgo like Libra, remember? So yes, you are a Virgo rising, but it's also going to be affecting, which is your 12th, yes, which is your spiritual like life. It's that psychology house. It's the stuff in those hidden realms, that connection to like the divine consciousness and all of that stuff. But you're also going to be having it in your first house because I know your chart. So that part of like it's also then affecting that, and the first house is that self. It is your actual like how you physically represent in the world as well. It's like that identity in all ways. Let's see what we get. We have the Fool in reverse, So the Fool is the start of the major arcana's journey, but it's blocked. So when it's like reversed, then it's not got that like free-spirited, carefree, just gonna go like fall off a cliff with zero fucks. There's a bit of like hesitancy, can't talk, that comes into it, like a bit more fearful of a new adventure, but it is a new adventure. It is a whole new journey. So there's like a big marker point in something, which makes sense as well with that like being in the first house. And that crossover 12 to first house. And then you also had, that one wasn't upside down, the Four of Cups. And so there is this journey, and then if you see here, like it's like a really, is this your emotional realm, your relationships, but she's like not satisfied with the Three Cups that she has, but she's also like not even looking, she's looking in the wrong direction of this cup that's being given to her full of this like rainbow. So with that, with this like being hesitant, there's like something new really wanting to come in. There is like a whole new marker point of something new, but like you're essentially like there's a hesitancy, you're looking in the wrong direction, but it's actually coming through with a full-on rainbow of like abundance. But there's like, you have to almost like you have to look away from these Three Cups, the ones you've worked towards, you've got there, and it's like looking at something kind of like new being offered. She does have her hand on it, so there is a level of like, it's something that's already, it's not landing tonight. Someone's not appearing with a cup tonight. Like the cup's already here in your reality. Your hand's already on it. It's already touching it, and it's like it's big and beautiful, which that journey is. And you just need to go more into that energy of like, okay, new adventure, new, like new. It is new, big new something starting. I'm just gonna pull from a different deck. Which one do I want? Which one do I want? Let's go this way. No, we're going to go this one. Sorry. Too many decks to choose from. Or not enough decks. They can stay on the floor. So the card that came out is this, and it says gratitude, and then the two flip sides it says on it is ungrateful and appreciative. But if you go with the cards here where she's like looking in this one, where she's looking in the wrong direction, there's like this, there's something here with that word gratitude of like sitting with, so like there's something here to like release, either something that either hasn't like worked out as you wanted it to, as you imagined, that's got this like so there's like, I don't even want to use the term ungrateful, but we're just using it because it's on the card. Something that's like sitting uncomfortably with you, but there's like, there is a blessing in it, because it's got you exactly where you are to this turning point. But there is something about like a shift, a big like having to change where you're looking, a big shift in direction, because this is the start of the major arcana's journey. So that's the heroine's journey. So there is like, that's indicating like there is a big shift, a big new start in something, but there's that part of it may not look as you thought it was going to. So there's something about having to make peace with what's actually closing out and like really like shutting the door on it, just being, you know, being done and being okay with it, and moving into the new adventure. And that links back into other card readings we've had as well. So, sorry, I've been talking for so long and now I'm like, who else is in the chat? Another Virgo rising. So you are also 12th house. So let's see. So 12th house is that like your spiritual realm, it's your psyche, your psychology kind of sits in there. That transcendent self. Ooh. And there's especially, I mean, there's like that levels of ego death that sit there as well. Because if you think like it's Pisces ruled, like house 12 is the death house, like even though Scorpio rules house 8, and which is death and rebirth, but like Pisces is like full on death transcending into like, you know, the next realm. And then Aries is that part, start of the zodiac, that's where you're born. So there is that like, you know, there's lots of death in that 12th house. So ways of being, shedding, big shifts. So, Terry, these are yours, by the way. So we have the King of Cups in reverse and then also the Knight of Swords. King of Cups, not happy upside down. This indicates that there are levels of emotional instability right now. Just not being very, like, it's the heart center, especially, because it's where we emote from. So it very much kind of like, it's got like this energy into it, like with this moon, is more what I'm saying. That there is big pain, suffering, that instability being brought up, but it's doing so it can like fuck off, and bringing this stuff in so you can actually have a greater level of emotional like security here, and balance, but right now it feel really like fucktarded, for want of a better term. And the Knight of Swords in the reverse, here not a knight moving forwards, as they want to be. They want to be charging forwards in a direction, and the Knight of Swords has clarity in the upright. There is a lack of clarity within the mind space, so it's just like essentially a lot of discombobulation here with these two, and that's the part that's like wanting to clear. So it's trusting that this energy rises up for a reason, and that instability is to highlight things, and so it can be released, and like being able to sit with and let it move through, especially when it's the 12th and then moving into that first. I'd really say like sitting with it, and just kind of almost like levels of strapping in, and just allowing and letting the intensity of what's rising up run its course. Let's get one of these cards. So we've got this. Find stillness within, meditate in your sacred space to connect with your inner wisdom and tranquility. So simply be at the moment, like just like, so be, sit, sit with as minimal distractions as you can, and just allow this to like roll through, and just like be in, like try and find the eye within the storm, find that part where the storm's raging, but like you've got that stillness within, and like what will happen is that storm will like roll over, it will pass, but it will gift you so much, in being able to find the tranquility within the chaos of what is like being brought up at this moment in time. Uncomfortable, yes, but very much worth it. And then Anna, Capricorn. So Capricorn, it is in, I have it written down, sorry. Capricorn, 10th house. 10th house is your career house, but it's also the house of like your, like how you are seen in the world, like public image in that way. Where it's career, you can also use the word ambition, reputation. All of them kind of sit under that career house. So let's see. Ooh. We have Pentacles, both Pentacles. We've got the Queen of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. So Queen sat in her power stance on her throne. She is there, secure, stable. She's a lower version because she's not a major arcana of like the Empress. So that is very much the divine feminine energies that come through with the Queen of Pentacles. But yeah, it's that like very sturdy, very earthly, like practical, like feet in ground, down to earth type of energy, and she's just sat very securely on her throne. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is a card about long-term investment. Essentially, like you have to plant your seeds, you have to make sure the soil is okay and tend to this to actually start to grow something. So it's like it's got very much a long-term vision, and Pentacles does it anyway because it's like it's the slowest moving of the suits. So this is very much like a rooting down energy, and that where it's in your 10th house of career, there's like a level of this like sitting and like in or wanting said security, and this like long term, like how can you actually get it, and even with that, like the Queen of Pentacles, like I said, like that lower down Empress in ways, it's almost like, and like even the fact that I said that, like that part of how do you actually get to like Empress level, like what can you do to like extra cement it, extra secure it, extra get those roots in, so that there is this like long-term plan, long-term vision, but what needs to be released off under this moon that like doesn't serve you anymore, with a longer term vision for your security, for you to feel truly abundant within your reputation, within the career place, because that's what it's highlighting, house wise. Let's get you these ones. Oh, God. I have so many cards on the floor. So when I hang up this, I spend time picking up all the cards that I pull, like drop on the floor. You also got Palo Santo Guardian. So Palo Santo is also a great cleanser, but with that Guardian energy coming through with this card, just know that there's like levels of like being divinely like guarded, protected, but also like deep wisdom coming through with whatever's being illuminated for you. So like under this, like this illumination for you with this release point, like really tune in. I'd even potentially ask, like either spend some time, like just tune into ancestors, guardians, ask them to come forwards with any messages, because it feels as if that like they'll come through all the clearer at this moment in time. And if you have Palo Santo to hand, use that as well, because that will assist that, and it's beautiful smelling, so always worth it. And then Lisa, Sag rising, it is in your 11th house. That is the house of community, networking, like it's the humanitarian house. So in that regard, there's that like level of shared visions. But yeah, so friendships, like I said, with the community, your social life and stuff like that is all in there. We have for you the Lovers in reverse and the Seven of Wands in reverse. So the Lovers can talk about romantic relationships, but I actually use the Lovers more as a like the scales as such, in a way. It's normally, this is a bad depiction of it in this deck, but it's normally like Adam and Eve either side of a tree, and I view it much more as that balance between the divine masculine and feminine within. But it's in the reverse, so it's highlighting a big lack of balance, and so where that's coming forwards under this like full moon for you, it's like the themes that are coming up will be like strongly present with you, strongly illuminated, and really wanting you to bring in balance. And it's also in the friendship, networking, you know, that house. So it may be also like that look at what is out of balance, like within that realm. So within your friendships, within your community, within the people you surround yourself with. And so if you spend a lot of time at work, say, so you spend a lot of time with those people, that's also like a part of it. It's just that level of what is out of whack and what does not align to your truth within you. And then we have the Seven of Wands for you. So Wands is the fire, and the Seven of Wands is a card that can talk about, like, it's an energy of like giving up, because it's like the wands is always like a battle, and it just feels as if like it's that highlight of like what's not really working, and like what's not, like, it's just that's such a highlight of this Libra full moon energies of like what's not sustainable, so where you don't have that energy to give, because especially in this card, this person has found a level of peace within, even though they've got these Seven of Wands coming up at them. And it's that part of like, it's just highlighting where things are like, where things don't bring you peace, and where that peace is wanted, where that balance is wanted. And so I would say with anything coming forwards and anything that's been like illuminated for you, if it is not bringing you that like peace and balance, like with the theme of the moon, like just like be done with it. And it's like, it's okay. Like you don't actually have to have like reasons and excuses or anything. Like your honest truth of it not either being enough or not working for you or not bringing you satisfaction is reason enough. Let me get. I'm gonna go with this deck. And then that is, once I've pulled this, that's the last of them I have in the chat. So if there's anyone else in the chat that wants a card, then let me know, because otherwise this will be nearing the end. For you, we have ayahuasca. So this card says rebirth. So there very much is that light, that closing out, death, rebirth. So it could be that this this full moon is like, you know, packing a punch in that regard. I think you said you were exhausted earlier, so that would indicate that there's an intensity. But ayahuasca obviously shows us things, like it shows us things that we wouldn't be able to see otherwise. So that whatever is landing in those ways for you, that is like these revelations are coming through for a reason. And so really leaning in and trusting in what has to die so that there can be this rebirth. And then we've got the snakes, so that shedding aspect, and like something really wanting to come. There's like a little, I don't know if you can see it properly in the thing. It's a little baby in this little thing. So whatever's wanting to come forward in that rebirth, like a rebirth of self, really allowing like a level of like an inner child to really rise up and be, and also like whatever's shedding, so that you can actually move forwards in a way that you can bring forward something. And not to say you're going to go get pregnant, but as in like, so you can birth something into the world that wants to come through you, like creatrix, more than you know, mother birthing, is the sort of energy. But yeah, that's it. You're very welcome, Anna. So yeah, if there's nobody else wanting a reading, then I'm going to go and hide from the moon. Sorry for all of the technical difficulties. I have absolutely no idea why or what happened, which is a shame. But we got there in the end. Next time, next time I just hope it will work. I will be back for Moon and Tarot on the 15th of April. That's for the new moon in Aries. It will be over socials and stuff like that, so you will see it if you follow me. But yeah, give me a follow over there if you don't. And any local people, I have a moon medicine workshop starting on the 22nd of April. That's to learn more about the moon phases. We will have a tarot card connected. It's not like this in regards to the heavy dose of astrology, although I will bring in elements of it. It's more to learn and work with the moon's phases, all 8 of them, not just the new and full moon, and also more about ritual skills and like building your toolkit, showing you ways in which to work with those phases, but everything you learn will be something you can take out and put within your toolkit and use and utilize. So it's like, it'll be a fun, informative, educational, witchy, moony space. But yeah, it's ambitious author. You are all very welcome, and yeah, I will see you next time. Enjoy the full moon. I hope you get some sleep, and yeah, it will all get calmer, hopefully. Have a good evening.